Whose crew is liver than School Bus Driver? The Kozmoz Driving. Are you a driver or would you like to be? Come and ride with me. We be teaching lessons on pre-trip inspection. You can make several dollars without college if you know your general knowledge. Who's cooler than us on the school bus? School bus passengers, CDL endorsements, 49 CFR federal enforcements.
Welcome to the Kozmoz Driving.
Let's discuss.
Training on the school bus Class B passenger and school bus endorsement. Class A general knowledge. I am your school bus driver and I am here today to talk about how did I start driving a school bus. I started driving the bus about 20 years ago. I started off as a bus aide. I was a little scared to learn how to drive the bus. But while I was a bus aide, I used to monitor the children and watch the children on the bus for the driver. And I used to watch my driver. We was on a big bus. We had some handicapped kids. I had to strap in with the wheelchair.
Once I had to drive with a female driver, she really encouraged me.
So I decided to study for my general knowledge. And I took the test the first time and I failed it. So I took it again 7 days later and I passed it. So once I passed it, I said, hey, I can get my passenger school bus, and then I can train for the school bus. So I did that. I got my permit and I got ready to train. And I trained. Took me about 5, 6 weeks. I had to do my pre-trip inspection. I had to do my skills test. Back then, we had to do an alley dock and parallel park. And then I had to do the passenger and school bus endorsements, which was automatically a railroad procedure, and the pickup or drop off of the student. And I've been driving ever since. Became a dispatcher about 5 years in driving. Once I became a dispatcher, I said, hey, I can teach people how to drive these things. So I self-certified myself on an FMCSA website, became a trainer, and I trained over 230 people how to drive the school bus to get their Class B passenger and school bus endorsement. It's been a lot of fun. So I want to welcome you guys to the Cosmos Driver, where we discuss everything in the cosmos about school bus driving. Anything CDL. Now we are here to talk to my first student that I trained not once, but twice. The reason why I trained him twice because if you don't use it, you lose it. I would like to introduce the one, the only.
Like to introduce myself. I go by Judeau Da Driver. You might have seen me in a couple of videos before, some shorts with me and the school bus driver. We want to talk about CDLs, Class A preferably today, and Class B as well. So for me, this journey of CDL started for me commercial driving about 10 years ago. And it's been a good journey since then. Um, there is money involved with commercial driving. I started with trucks, so I went to school in Burlington City. They they closed that school now, but back then it was off of 130, and it seemed impossible at first. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It can be very overwhelming learning trucks, 53 footers, tractor trailers. But like everything else, with practice comes perfect. You get your feet wet, you get out there, you make it happen. We had some good trainers, some good teachers, and one of the key things that you need as far as doing this type of job is you need patience. You got to be calm in what you do. If you get overworked or overstressed, you may cause some accidents. So you definitely have to be vigilant with that. You do some written tests. With trucking, you had to do air brakes, you got to learn combination, and then you got some other endorsements that come with it. Class B, you got passenger endorsements and school bus endorsements. So depending on what you're doing, you'll get training in those different areas. Uh, so when I first started, I went to school for it for trucks, and it was a lot of written first. So it's a lot that comes with it, and especially with this type of job, you got to know how to be driving safely. Safety is the key with trucks and especially with buses. Again, they say the most precious cargo is the students. So we got to be mindful of the children. You got to drive like they're your own children. So be mindful of that. Once you get the written down, you do the written test, then you start to get your hands-on training. It's the same as far as hands-on right after with trucks and buses. Um, Trucks, when I was doing it, it was a ton of people, so you didn't get as much training. But with school buses, I've gotten so much training because they focus on you. When you go to school for trucks, you can have 20 to 30 people in that group, and you're just waiting. So be mindful of that. If you're going for your CDLs, you want to make sure that you're going to a school that can focus on you. All right, so after I got out of school, graduated, got my CDLs, I started doing over the road trucking. Um, and that was tough. I'm a family man, so that can be tough going over the road for 4 or 5 days out of the week and coming home for a day and a half to 2 days and you're right back on the road. So again, just be mindful of what you're getting yourself into. Do your research before you do it. So that didn't last too long at that time. This was about 9 years ago. Then I went to Safety Bus, a company that is no longer with us, and that's where I met the school bus driver.
Okay, I'm gonna cut you off right there. I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Okay.
So you say you started off driving the trucks.
Yes.
What made you come over to the school busing company and start training over there with me?
Well, honestly, man, it was one day I was passing by and I seen the billboard because trucks wasn't working for me. The jobs they wanted you to have 2 year experience over the road, and back then it was straight. You had to be over the road, hitting different states. So when I got out, I didn't have that underneath my belt.
So was it like a contract deal? You had to after they did the training for the Class A, you had to work with them for a certain
A
amount
few
of time.
months, yeah, it was a contract deal. A few months. Um, I did that, and then once that was over, I was trying to look for a job local, so I can be home 7 days a week.
So that more or less steered you towards the school bus driving.
Yes, it did.
Okay, I was telling everybody how I trained you. You're the only person that I trained twice. You want to
Twice.
elaborate on that story?
Yeah, so he trained me twice. Once he trained me once, I got in that job. I was there for a while. Got out, went back to the trucking game for a while. Decided to get back out of that when you came to me and was like, I got an offer for you. And I was like, well, I ain't got my endorsements because you will lose your endorsements, school bus and passenger. Passenger, I'm not really, I got to do my research on that, but I know for sure if you're not working or dealing with schools, you will lose that endorsement.
So when I trained you to get your P&S, your passenger and school bus, after you left the first time, did you lose your passenger? I know you lost your school bus.
I did. No, I'm sorry. No, I lost the school bus.
So you
And
left, I'm sorry, so you left to go drive trucks again?
yes, well,
Okay, so how'd that work out?
that was pretty good for a while. I had a good run. Um, but once the offer was made, at that time, because I'm a family man and it was a full time thing, it worked out perfectly.
Oh yeah, you also was the first
trainer that I had at my training facility that I started in South Jersey.
Yes.
You
Yep.
you was like the protege.
Yeah, that was we had big plans with that.
But we got a virtual YouTube training going on now, so let's
Nice.
focus on that.
Right. Yep.
Okay, Judeau Da Driver.
And listen, guys, remember, safety is number one.
He's big on precious cargo.
Precious cargo.
Today's episode has been brought to you by thecosmos.com, DAKOZMOZ.com, where you'll find CDL Class ABC 3 book series written by Schoolbus Driver. Get yours today on thecosmos.com.
We talking about all these different kind of buses. So Judeau, the driver, was my first interviewer. What's the first school bus you drove?
Well, I think you call it Generation 1.
Oh, the Gen 1. Okay.
Gen 1 and Bluebird. I believe I drove the Bluebird for a second. I don't have as much experience as you do with the Bluebird.
What you think about that Bluebird you drove?
Well, we used to call it the tank.
The tank.
It was, that I believe that bus was from the 90s, man, and
yeah, she was an old one.
Pros and cons with it. I mean, it's old school. If you don't like old school buses or cars, vehicles, you won't like it. But if you do, steering was great. That was the best thing for me was steering. You know, you can get in and out them tight turns with that type of bus. It was old school, like I said. The door you had to.
Oh, the push handle door, yeah.
No button.
Old Bluebird. That's one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite buses on the lot. I remember the power steering pump one on it, and they took it from me, never gave it back. I miss my Bluebird, but the new Bluebirds, they pretty nice. They real nice.
Yeah, I don't have any experience.
So you got your experience on the international ICCEs.
International.
What you think about the so what you talking? The second generation is the one you drove the most?
Yeah, second generation. They did a lot of. I won't say a lot, but it was a few differences between the two buses.
The first generation and the second generation?
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
absolutely. Absolutely. And
The
I think
push handle with the door was one of the main changes.
that was a big change.
To
There
put the
was no
button
more
on
of
the
that. You
steering
just hit the
wheel.
button, which is much easier. The second generation has a smooth flow when it comes to driving. It wasn't as bumpy. Like you could feel every bump with the first generation, but that second one.
You ever drove a first generation with the high beam button on the floor?
Oh, yes. That's something else,
That's
man.
a big change.
Yes, that is. That's a change that needed to be. That's a hazard.
What about the camera system? That's something new for the second
Yeah,
generation.
they didn't have that at all with the first generation buses. There was really no camera as far as with the parking. Second generation, you had the backup camera, the reverse.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
definitely
that was
new.
definitely a new feature. All right, so we talk about the first and second. We on actually right now we on the third generation.
On
It's
the
a
third.
2025 right here, ICCE. So tell me your pros and cons.
Well, pro, excuse me, because I am a truck driver, and it reminds me of trucks. The cockpit, the driver's cockpit is just like a truck.
I love it.
They switched it up this year. They made it. It's a lot more buttons to it, which means that you could do different things with the bus. You have more control to me with it. One thing I don't like as much, I got to be honest, is the steering wheel. Steering wheel in the Gen 2 was better.
Why? What's wrong with
Well,
the
it
steering wheel? I love
seems
the
like this
steering
one
wheel.
is bigger. You can't maneuver as much as you could with that Gen 2.
It is thicker.
Yeah,
It got
yep.
a lot of buttons that's in the way. I agree.
About 10 more buttons on it.
Because on the Gen 2, the buttons was kind of like with the horn.
It was installed inside of it.
Now they kind of like on the outside edge of the steering,
Right.
in the middle, I should say.
So it can get in the way depending on how you drive, your steering mechanism, your technique of driving. But overall, I can say that it's an upgrade. Overall, it's an upgrade. We're back to diesel with these. Gen 2 that I know had more of gasoline.
Well, that's what they had in the lot at the time, but they make diesel and gasoline
Oh,
for Gen
okay,
2 and Gen 3. And
okay.
actually Gen 3 has the electric now. They
Yes,
got diesel,
wow, electric
gasoline,
now.
and electric. Yeah.
Well, I
I
haven't seen that yet.
wasn't fortunate enough to drive a electrical one yet.
How do you feel between the fuel and diesel?
I like the diesel a
Okay.
lot better. Is less fueling. The
Yes.
gasoline
Yes, it
seems to just
is.
burn faster. The only thing about the diesel, you got to make sure you got that depth.
And that is a major key with diesel. You got to have depth.
Got to have that diesel exhaust fluid.
You got to have it.
So was you fortunate enough to have air conditioning on your Gen
Oh,
2?
Gen 2, I was at Safety Bus when I was using Gen 2. Some of them had them, most of them didn't. Um, Gen 2
I
on
know
this
you
side,
drove one that had AC on it.
yes.
I'm asking you because I want to tell them the difference between the air conditioning system for Gen 1 and Gen 2.
Gen 1 and Gen 2.
Yeah, what do you say is the difference?
Well, I know especially for Gen 3, these newer ones, AC level, it's a much better. You see that they upgraded it because now the air conditioning units hits the students, but and the driver. Okay, before it was just blowing, you couldn't
Right
feel
over your
anything
head.
over your
Right
head.
over the driver's head.
Right, so you couldn't feel anything.
We on the bus the longest and we don't feel the air at all on them Gen 2.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. Nothing at all. So I understand you had a problem with your driver's seat on your Gen 3. I don't want to get into the details, but
Yeah. So the seat isn't. It's not going up or down. There is an issue with that seat. Uh, just with that, but I say as far as with the Gen 3, it seems like they upgraded the seats.
the seats, okay. Yeah, because I was going to say my seat is way better
Mm.
than I had on my Gen 2. And I was
Yes.
fortunate enough to drive a 2026 a couple of weeks ago, and that has an air ride suspension on the
Yes, I
whole.
heard.
It's like the Cadillac of school buses.
Yeah, I heard. I heard about that.
And you believe it or not, that the seat has its own air ride suspension in it as well. You can
Man.
barely feel the bounce.
See, and that's what we deal with on a regular base is the bouncing. This upgraded compared to Gen 2 because it seems like that model it has so much more
It felt
bouncing.
like you was riding on the
Everything.
shock.
Yes.
Riding on the
You're just
shock.
going up and down,
Oh
up and
man.
down. So, with the newer ones, I didn't have the luxury yet of trying that, but I'm sure that it's a much easier ride, especially for drivers that go long distances and are out here
Yeah.
10 hours, 12 hours a day. You
Yeah.
need a comfortable seat.
That's what we do. We do 8, 10, 12 hour days out here.
Yes.
Uh, Tell me about the doors. The
Well, that is one
doors.
thing that is a down for the
Gen
new
3 door
Gen 3
is
down.
horrible.
It is. It's a downgrade. I mean, I believe they
I
should have
agree.
kept the doors the same as Gen 2, where they both open up at the same time and then they close. So them opening up one and the next can be a safety hazard.
Why is it a safety hazard?
Well, okay, so I would tell you when you're dealing with railroad stop and you got to open up these doors, some of these doors can malfunction. That is a problem when you're stopped at a railroad and
Doing
one
your
door's
railroad procedure,
doing your procedure,
the
right?
door's taking too long to open. They open one at a time. You looking down the track,
Yes, yeah.
and then you got to close them and accelerate across the track.
It's a safety
It's,
hazard.
it
So
does get in the
I
way.
I believe that I'm hoping that they will change that in the future for the Gen 4, that they will go back to Gen 2 when it comes to the doors, service doors, because that is a safety hazard.
What about the stop sign? What are you having the same similar problems with me with the stop sign when you dropping off and picking up kids?
Yes. So there is something that you can do, that I do
Let's
is,
explain the problem to them before you explain the
well, for the
solution.
stop sign, when we're coming to our stop to
The
drop off the students,
the bus has to be come to a complete stop
please stop.
before the stop sign come out. On
So
Gen 2, all you had to do was hit the open door button and that stop sign and the
it's
door
coming
is
out.
coming out at the same time.
Is coming out. So you can imagine, especially if you're dealing with city stops, you can have issues where drivers are just going to continue to go. That stop sign needs to
It
come out.
comes out. It's like on a delay. It's too late.
There is a delay
So
with these Gen 3.
tell them the solution.
Well, a solution that I came up that I don't even know. Just one day I said, let me just try something. There is an override button,
Red override.
the red override, which automatically will
Push
bring
the
that
stop sign out.
automatically is going to bring the stop sign out. So that helps a great deal.
So as soon as you come into that stop, you hit that red override. That stop sign is coming out before I even open my door.
But just remember, if you use that, you got to be very mindful. Once you open the door with the override and then open the door with the service door button, you got to remember, shut off the override. If you don't,
It's going to stay out once you still close that door.
and you'll be driving with your stop sign out, and that'll
Hey,
cause an accident.
also be mindful that you're using your yellow warning lights
Yes.
before you hit the red override.
Yes.
Give the drivers warning that the stop sign is about to come out.
Absolutely.
Don't just hit the override and open your door. Please don't.
Yes.
Follow the pick up and drop off procedures.
Follow the protocols all the way.
So what else would you say is an upgrade on the Gen 3? Anything?
Yes. So the handrails. I believe on Gen 2 there was just one handrail on the side.
It's been so long I can't even remember.
I believe it's just one. And on this Gen 3 we got two.
I believe you're right. It is just one.
Just one. So
on the left hand side.
This is much more safer with two. You know,
Yes.
and it's just much more safer
Yes.
for the driver and for students, because believe some drivers can fall, can have an accident that will cause some problems for you.
You can also do some stretches. I showed y'all Judeau Da Driver. He does some exercises on them handrails.
Yes.
He only shows you the stretches. I ain't gonna tell you what he's gonna show us next.
Oh yes, it's a surprise.
Surprise is coming up.
Check out this clip.
I know we talking about buses, but now we talking about the stretches. You be focused on the workout a lot. I see you working out on the bus a lot.
Yeah, I do. You know, health is a big key for drivers because we got to go through a process. For medical, you have to get past your medical card.
Physical, you got to pass the physical to get your medical examiner's card.
Yes, you do. And that's big. You know, there's a lot of drivers out there that will lose their endorsements, their CDL, because medically they don't
They're
pass.
not physically fit to operate the school bus. So what is one of the main things that you have to keep under control?
Blood pressure is a big thing.
Yes.
Blood pressure, you've got to keep that under control, which means you got to watch what you're eating.
Yes.
Drink plenty of water, fluid, but water, preferably, I will push. You know, and when you're on the bus, you have time. Just give yourself, you know, when you're stopped, walk around the bus or walk. If there's an area where there is somewhere you can walk, you know, just do something rather than just sit on the bus.
I drink a lot of tea.
There you go. And you got to be active.
Active. Yeah, he does a lot of things. I seen him running around the bus doing laps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that physical thing is a big thing.
Yes, it is.
So if you on blood pressure medication, how does that work with the doctor?
Well, I can tell you with the medical exam for CDLs, you get up to 2 years before you got to get reevaluated. If you're on medicine, though, you can only get up to 1 year. That's it.
So you go once a year.
Once a
year.
Blood
pressure medication.
Some people have to do it every 6 months. I've seen.
I think that is because of their age, maybe. I think the older
it has something to do.
Drivers have to go back every 6 months.
Yes, and you know I know that they check for sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea, yes.
So they're going to check your neck.
That has something to do with going back every 6 months.
Yes, it does.
But we're fortunate enough not to know them facts.
Right. But for those of you that have to, you know, try to get your body in the normal range. You know, stay active. Again, drink water. The school bus driver loves fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
Fruit and vegetable man. You need to be big on those things.
Yes.
Don't always go out and eating cheeseburgers.
Because you can get fat driving these buses.
Oh, yes, you can.
When I first started 20 years ago, I was 260-some pounds.
See, I can't even imagine them. That's another 80 pounds on you.
Yeah. I lost a lot of weight,
man.
Trying to stay up on a physical and change my whole lifestyle.
Wow.
Just to so I can keep doing what I love doing.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
Any other pros and cons with the Gen 1 and Gen 2 and Gen 3 you could
Well,
think of?
so the student alarm.
Big one, big one.
Student alarm. I know that the Gen 3 models, they don't make the noise. They don't have the alarm noise for you. So that's a little issue for me because I'm so used to hearing that beep.
Yeah, I was going to say you got to clarify the noise. So on your Gen 3, when you push it, you don't hear anything?
No, what happens is when I push it, the lights, the inside lights, on and off, the dome lights will go on and off, on and off.
Okay, they flicker.
That's how you know. Which to me, that's another downgrade. That's something that they have to change
Yeah,
and
because
elevate within the next generation because
the sound is so much clearer that you check the alarm.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. Gen
exactly.
1 though, like the old buses, they didn't have the
They didn't
city.
have a button. You had to open the door.
You had to open the
But
emergency
it
exit
still made
door.
a noise for you, letting you know.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it did.
So that noise they need to bring back with the next generation.
I remember we was talking earlier about some issue you had with the drivers driving with their warning lights on for two,
Oh,
3 miles.
so again, for your amber warning lights, that's indicating to other drivers that you're getting ready to drop off a student
Or pick up.
or pick up. Yes. So those lights need to be on. They need to be on according to when you are doing drop off pickup.
So what happens? Why are these drivers driving 3 miles with the warning lights on?
Which is very unsafe. Some drivers do that because they forget that their lights are on. They may have hit the button by accident and they're just driving. So, a suggestion, remember that you
Yeah.
heard it from school bus driver
What's
and
the
Judeau the
solution,
driver.
Judeau the driver?
The suggestion and the solution is make a warning sound for the amber warning lights. If they're on for over 30 seconds, maybe
Yes.
there's a sound or a light that
That
beeps.
should let us know that
Yes.
we got these warning lights on, because I
Right.
notice in my Gen 3, if I leave the turn signal on too long, it beeps at me.
Okay. See that? So
It
that's
does
what they
beep
need
at
to
me.
do. The same thing with the amber warning lights.
Yeah, that would be great. You
Yes.
heard it here first. School bus driver and Judeau the driver. Thanks for watching the Kozmoz Driving. Always be safe and protect our precious cargo.